Welcome to the Downtown, brought to you by Arlington Citizen Media. I am Daryl Smith Jr., and across the network that Al Gore invented from me is...
I am Rodie John, and across the interwebs of destiny are...
Amy.
On today's show, we talk to Heidi Allison from Sugar Bees Sweets and Bakery, and also the Hive, about how the Hive was formed, custom cakes, and the growing downtown neighborhood known as Urban Union.
John also conversed with Wade from Division Brewing about brewing in Arlington, the Growl, and what the future holds for Division Brewing.
Oh, what does the future hold? Well, just listen to the interview, and you'll find out.
You'll find out everything.
What does the future hold for us? Do we have anything interesting? Did you guys do anything this week?
If I can just steal the spotlight here, had a Facebook adventure.
Ooh.
That turned into a real life adventure. That turned into an Arlington adventure. It was all three of these things.
Okay.
I'm part of the Arlington Foodies group on
Right.
Facebook, and people, Daniel has actually, our friend of the pod, Daniel, has been showing some delicious steaks on there, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm jealous that when you guys get to eat them. But anyway.
Former guest? Well, yeah.
So I posted some cherry tomatoes that I grew, and I was like, hey, who would like to trade? And a lady was like, yeah, like, that sounds awesome. What about peaches? And I was like, I freaking love peaches. Yes, let's do this. So I traded like a couple of ounces of my cherry tomatoes, and she traded me like a pound of peaches. And man, like, they're delicious, number one. Number two, it was really cool to be able to interact with someone in the city, like, through Facebook in a way that is like authentic and real. And number three, we met at Babes, Arlington Institution. So
Hey, there you go.
That's awesome.
it was
And
really
you made
cool.
some pickles, which I can't wait to try.
I did.
The fruits of your labor this summer are finally coming.
They are.
And I'm excited about that. You gave me a big cucumber and some tomatoes. They were delicious. Thank you.
I am a gardener. What can I say?
I tried
Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I
have
tried your
to
pickles
say.
this past weekend, and they were delicious. So
You had what this weekend?
your pickles.
Oh, yes, that's right. We
Oh,
did,
yeah, you
because
got some.
we got to see each other in this
Vaguely.
world of COVID. It's very fun.
Speaking of the foodies group, we should probably reach out to Jennifer soon and get her back on.
Yeah,
Just
and
to
because
talk about what's going on with that.
the market is going to start back up next Saturday.
There we
I
go.
think it's like an evening market from 7 to 9. I should have done more research on this. But yeah, like, we should definitely have her on, because I think as businesses kind of start to open back up, and whatever that means, it's going to be interesting to see, like, how that's going to affect everyone.
Yeah.
I ate at Tipsy Oak yesterday. Sat out on the patio. Very beautiful day. And obviously I went to Division and supported that local brewery. What else did I do? I felt like I went...
You got some hurtado for
I
Father's
did
Day.
get hurtado.
Ah, yes.
I was going to say, I'm the one this week who had hurtado.
It's like you can roll the dice,
Yeah.
and like one of us probably has had hurtado that way. If
We
at least
tried.
one of us.
We were too late in ordering. We called on Father's Day. We woke up late, and they were like, no dice.
Yeah.
They're like, we've got 50 people in line, and we've exceeded our orders for today already. So,
Which is
better to
so
look next time.
cool. Like, I'm unfortunate for you, but like, so cool for them that
Yeah,
like
no.
it's achieved this sort of like, and I hope, like, Franklin, it's down in Austin,
Right.
like, that's a barbecue institution, and like, people wait in line for that, and like, we have one of those literally down the street from us now, and
Mhm.
it's amazing barbecue, and it's so great, and I know that other people that make barbecue are probably like, shut up, guys. But
No,
it's
but
really
we've
good.
seen it grow,
Yes.
too. We've
Right.
seen it grow from the very beginning. And even, when we called and we weren't able to get the barbecue, I wasn't upset. I was like, good for them.
Yeah,
you
for
know.
sure.
And spoiler alert, we do talk about hurtado during the Division conversation. So
Well,
Lots
shock of
hurtado,
shocks.
always.
Yeah. However, they were out of elote when I got there, and I did order ahead of time, and I was like, that is unfortunate.
Yeah,
So
that's too
I just
bad.
got chopped brisket. It was okay, obviously.
We tried a new place too, called Samurai Hibachi.
Okay.
On Green Oaks, and it was delicious, and their prices were great, and everything was ready really quick. It's like a hibachi place, but it was never designed to like be a sit down one. Like it's all for takeout.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get that kind of food, but the price is way less because they're not having to pay like a specialty chef to make fire volcanoes, because I can just do that at home,
Could you?
my own onions. So yeah, it was great. I recommend it.
Oh, awesome. I'd have to check that out because I love that kind of food,
Mm-hmm.
and would love to not pay. And the experience is great, but sometimes you just want some bomb-ass fried rice,
Right.
So.
Sometimes you just want some scallops and some really good fried rice.
All right.
So-
Speaking of which, I'm having Thai Texas tonight. So
I love
Oh,
Thai Texas,
man.
so good. I'm so bummed that I'm not having that with you.
Yeah.
So to address our cliffhanger from last week,
yeah.
about the Royal Panda delivery.
Yes.
My wife says that she used Grubhub,
Okay.
but it's never a Grubhub driver, and it's always the same guy.
Interesting.
Huh. So there's
She
more of a mystery
poked her head
here.
in and said it's the same guy every time, right? We could really be unraveling like the first real case of the Arlington Citizen Media.
Now,
Investigative reporting team.
right. So are they saying they don't have delivery, but yet Grubhub will deliver it?
I'm not
But it's
speculating
only
anything.
one guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's only one guy in the North.
One guy, and that's
interesting.
impossible
Right.
It
So
sounds
there's-
like you need to order more food and get to
to
the bottom.
investigate. I agree. If anyone would like to help me out with that, they can Venmo me some money because times are tight. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna order from there probably like in 3 days, so I'll let you know. We'll bring it. We'll give you another update on Royal Panda Gate as we.
Excellent.
I am here with Heidi Allison, the owner of Sugar Bee Sweets and Bakeries. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well. So how did Sugar Bee Sweets begin?
Sugar Bee Sweets started out of my home
Mm-hmm.
here in Arlington, Texas. I started doing cakes just for family and friends on the side.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew, like, in high school I wanted to make cakes.
Right.
But I didn't pursue it or start pursuing it, I guess, until about my mid-20s, because I'm 39 now and I've been doing it for 14 years.
Okay. Where'd you go to high school?
So, Sam Houston.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a Martin kid, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, the first cake I ever even attempted was for my niece's 4th birthday, and she just graduated from Arlington High, and she works here now. And then after that, I just loved it, and so I just kept trying to get better at it and learn new techniques, and I did it out of my home for 4 years until we moved into our first storefront over at the shops at Brownstone Village.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you not only do wedding cakes, but also custom cakes and different sweets.
Mm-hmm.
How far in advance do people need to order, and what kind of varieties of sweets do you guys offer?
So wedding cakes, we say 6 to 9 months, and that does not mean it takes that long, obviously, for us to make those cakes. But that way, the bride doesn't have to feel rushed
Right.
to decide whether they want us to do their cake. They have plenty of time. Like, we're not booked for dates that far out.
Right.
And so that just gives them kind of peace of mind. For custom cakes, we say 3 weeks, just so we have plenty of time to have the conversation about all of those custom details.
Right.
You know, if you come to me and you're like, oh, my wife's birthday's coming up and she really likes Mario Brothers or whatever it is, then we can talk about, okay, well, you know, are there favorite details? What details would you want included? How many are
Right.
you serving? What flavors? And so we can have plenty of time to have conversation back and forth. We ask for all of those to be done in writing.
Right.
So sometimes that can slow down the process, but it does make it more efficient.
Makes sense.
So we ask for 3 weeks, and that way you're booking by about 1.5 to 2 weeks from your event, and then everybody feels calm and not rushed.
Right.
And everybody knows what they're getting.
Yes. I can imagine with weddings, that's probably one of the last things you want to worry about, because you have
Right.
this long list of stuff, and you're just like, okay, is it all figured out?
Yep. So we confirm all of the details for weddings. So you may book like 9 to 12 months or 6 months, however far out in advance. but until 2 weeks beforehand, nothing is set in stone until then. So in case you want to change your colors, or you were expecting 150 people and now it's 75 people, like with coronavirus, you've always been able to make those changes up to 2 weeks beforehand.
Now, people aren't into cakes, but they do love sweets. What other sweets do you guys provide?
So we make cupcakes, cookies, cake balls, pies, our breakfast pastries. And then for weddings, we even kind of venture out a little bit more just because they're ordering larger quantities. We do banana puddings, trifles. I don't know. We've done a lot of different things for weddings, maybe like a family recipe that they've asked us to do because they really want to incorporate that because it's special to them. So we do a lot of stuff that like we just carry in the shop every day, but then we'll do a lot of different things for weddings.
Very nice. So you're located in the ever-growing Urban Union part of Arlington. How did y'all get an Urban Union?
So we were looking to expand our kitchen a few years ago. And so I actually started talking with Tony Ritigliano when he was with Downtown Arlington Management Corp. Because he was a really good just kind of advocate for like what was going on in downtown Arlington, and he showed us a few different spaces and buildings, and we met with a couple different developers. And then Dodson was working on expanding Urban Union, and only Legal Draft was here at the time. And he kind of just came to us and like really sold us on his vision of what this area was going to be, and so we decided to move here.
And it's ever growing, as we see.
Yes, and it has, like his vision is definitely coming to life with all he's bringing here, and so we feel like it was a good decision. Right, and I'm very curious to see how Front Street's going to start working out whenever they start developing all that as well. Yeah, I know, I'm anxious to see how that's going to go. Well, especially with everything changing so rapidly right now, I'm like, what's going to happen? Right, that's usually always, sometimes it can be the death knell when all of a sudden a recession type thing hits, and then everybody's like, well, you know that thing we were going to do, we got to push that back. Yeah, I mean, our business started in a recession, so when this started, I was kind of like, well, if we started in it, maybe that means that we can live through it. So we're just taking it day by day, just see how it's going. So what's the most interesting custom cake somebody has asked for? Interesting. I don't know. Different things are interesting to me for different reasons. I love things with a lot of detail. So a lot of groom's cakes tend to be the biggest and most interesting things we want to do. And people tend to want to invest, I guess, in like spending the money on a really cool groom's cake. Different buildings we've done. We've done the Citadel from South Carolina. Oh, wow. We've done the dude from the Big Lebowski, like his bust, which is really cool. A lot of different stadiums. And those are just interesting to me because we get to work on them for a really long period of time. We get to do a lot of detail, and we get to come up with how it's going to be assembled and, you know, just the inner workings of the cake and not just what it's going to look like. So because then you got to worry about the construction. And those are more interesting, to me. I don't know if that's interesting to our clients, but that's what's interesting to me. I mean, you're making them every day, so you got to find your interest somewhere in there. That's right, So you've opened the Hive recently. How did that open, and how has business been during this pandemic? So when we moved into this building, we kind of had this 1,000 square foot space that we played around with. What are we going to do with it? Should it be like an event space, like a small little event space, maybe for like showers and kids' birthdays and stuff like that? And we did a few of those, and it really just was not our cup of tea and something that we could fully manage because it was just another custom thing, you know, outside of cakes, which is what we already really know. And so since we were making our own croissants and different things for breakfast, we kind of just played around with the idea of maybe making sandwiches. Boo Boo's, like a really beloved sandwich place in Arlington, had closed however many years ago, and so a lot of people were like, oh, well, Boo Boo's closed, maybe y'all could do a sandwich shop. And we just kept hearing this like repeated sandwich shop. And so we kind of started just playing around with recipes and decided that's what we were going to do once we nailed everything down. And we opened that mid-October. And it's been good. Like, it's still just steady, but people seem to enjoy it. So it really just needs time to grow from like word of mouth and people finding out about it and it being consistent. Through the pandemic, it's kind of been weird. It's either like crazy busy or it's not busy at all. So people either place a ton of orders, you know, because they're really trying to support local businesses, which we appreciate so much, or it's nobody at all. So it's really kind of hard just to maintain like ordering food and how much should we order, and we have no idea what to do. So it's been new. I guess like anything would be. It's just that's kind of our wrench and everything is the pandemic. Yeah, it's true. So how did y'all decide on just to do lunch? Well, we already opened so early with the bakery that I knew we
okay.
didn't want to be open late into the night for dinner, because then it's just, like, for me, impossible to manage.
Right.
And then, having employees, like, with all the different cross-referencing of hours, that I just knew it wasn't something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So we decided just for lunch. And I don't know, I started thinking about a lot of downtowns that kind of thrive during the day because so many people come in for work that don't necessarily thrive at nighttime. And until other things open up around here, like, this isn't a place that's crazy busy at nighttime. Like, even Legal Draft isn't open late.
Right.
I'm
Four
sure, like,
Kahunas, I think, might be... Four Kahunas and I think Cartel might be the things open latest. Yeah.
Yeah, and Four Kahunas does say that, like, they see a lot of people, like, at Jack in the Box and different things like that at, like, 2 a.m. And I'm like, I just cannot commit to trying to get that traffic over here. Like, we already wake up early to get breakfast going for the bakery. I'm like, oh, no, I can't imagine, like, still being open at 2 a.m. At that point, we're almost, like, 24-hour operation. So, we just decided on lunch. And at first, we were Monday through Friday. Mm-hmm. And then we toyed around with being open Monday through Saturday. Oh. And again, that was hard for me because, when somebody knows and thrives in an area and then now you have a 6th day of the week, it's like, how do you rotate those people out? Like, if they're working 5 days a week, which works perfectly, now you have a 6th day. And so through the pandemic, we actually changed the hours of the bakery to 8 to 4.
Okay.
People weren't working, so we really didn't need to be open till 6 for people to swing by once they got off work to, like, pick up their orders. So we did 8 to 4 for, like, a good 2 months, and then everyone was enjoying it, actually, that worked here. They're like, even though we were still open 6 days a week, it was like 8 to 4 is amazing. And I was like, well, I want everyone to thrive and be happy and not feel, like, overworked. So how can we come out of this and make changes that make us all happy, like, still make our clients happy, but also all the employees happy. Mm-hmm. So we decided to go 8 to 6 Tuesday through Saturday for both the bakery and then the Hive being open 11 to 2 Tuesday through Saturday.
Right. Very nice.
Very long answer for that
question.
I
mean, we're a podcast. I want to hear all the answers. Yeah. So we have a segment on the show called Terminal Toppings. We're trying to find the best pizza in Arlington. What is your favorite pizza place in Arlington?
I just recently had Mama's Pizza,
which
everybody had told me for years and years, you gotta try Mama's Pizza, you gotta try Mama's Pizza. Yeah. Well, my mom actually lives over in that area, so during the pandemic, we ordered pizza, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
I think I did, like, a build my own, but it was, like, garlicky crust and white sauce and, like, mushrooms and, like, Italian sauce. I don't even know. I even brought the leftovers home to my husband. He was like, that was the most amazing pizza. So I think Mama's. I really love Corky's too, down on Corky's Little Road. I like their white pizza. And then, of course, I'm excited for Cane Rosso to open, just with the different unique ingredients that they offer.
Right across the street from you.
Yeah, right across the street. Cannot wait. Because we already go to, like, Fort Worth periodically to go to them. So it'll be nice that they're in Arlington and we can keep all those dollars here.
Yes, exactly. Have you heard about any dates potentially or no?
Nope. I know in January it was March, and then before the pandemic started, it had moved to April just because of how construction goes. But they've had workers over there all through the pandemic. We've seen them, every day. So I would assume they're really close. Like when the Coke Man showed up, and that was like 6 weeks ago. We're like, wow, that's got to be close. Like, if you're having, like, the drinks installed. But nope, we haven't heard. Huh. And the patio I think they just finished it last week or the week before.
Yeah, I've noticed they've been doing a lot more paint on it too, so that way it doesn't say Joe's Garage anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what can people look forward to from Sugar Bees and from the Hive?
I don't know. During the pandemic, we also started sharing, like, a set menu every week, although we've always had one.
Right.
We hadn't really been sharing it. So we're going to continue to do that, which has also made us focus more on what flavors we are going to offer and being more consistent with rotating things out. So just listening to our audience and keeping things interesting in that menu, we are going to start selling more of our signature sweets online permanently. Not the immediate things that we were doing during the pandemic where it's like, I ordered 3 cupcakes 15 minutes ago and you're bringing it to my car. Not like that, but like if you need a dozen red velvet cupcakes for this Saturday, you can just fluidly do that on our website. So that should be up in the next couple of weeks. And with the Hive, just staying consistent with what we have and rotating in those, like, special sandwiches, special soups, special salads that we like to do. We're looking into, like, a blueberry brie or a blueberry Havarti sandwich. We've talked to Hurtado about pairing up with them, doing something in the fall So, I don't know. We're
Very
just
nice.
thinking of ideas so we can rotate things in and out.
Yeah, perfect. So if people want to follow you guys on social media or order some cakes, check out the website. Where can they go?
SugarBeeSweets.com for all things bakery. You can always order our signature cakes there. We ask for 3 days notice for like the signature flavors, 4 days notice for the reserve flavors.
Okay.
They're super easy to order, and you can order them in advance. Pick your pickup time. It's super easy. And then, of course, our menu is always posted on that as well. And then the HiveArlington.com just to stay up to date with what's going on in the Hive.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you more later.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I am here with Wade from Division Brewing. How are you today, sir?
Very good. Good to see you, John.
Good to see you. Glad to finally get this done. We're also joined by local teacher, UTA graduate, home brewer himself, Brian Fratto.
Hello.
So we're drinking Lava Lamp right now, which is a blend of which two again?
Elder Bramble, a blackberry sour, blackberry and elderflower sour, and Stone Machine Electric, a New England style IPA.
These are fantastic. So, and they have a nice little look to them as well, because you got one sitting on top of the other, and it's not like they're blending together by any stretch.
Right, that's what, I mean, I'm going to demonstrate with
Yeah,
your
go ahead.
glass. I don't know if people can't see it, but you can kind of shake it around. It's what kind of came up with its own name.
Right.
Because it kind of has this little lava lamp separation thing going.
Right. So if people want to come here, they can just ask for the Lava Lamp, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so how did Division start, and how did you find this place?
Division Brewing is just the result of two just crazy, dedicated hobbyists that loved beer, got fascinated with how to make beer, got fascinated with the history of the beer, and we're doing this simultaneously when we didn't know each other.
Right.
And then, you know, we had a fellow home brewer brought Sean and I together, and we met, and, you know, he appreciated what I was doing. I really, really, really appreciated what he was doing. And we were working on, like, certain ends of the spectrum that, so it really felt natural to talk about coming together and forming a brewery. And, you know, we were both citizens of Arlington. You know, we were having children and kids that were going up in the school, and it was really important for us to think about it in terms of being the local and small brewery. So that's really, to answer your second question, coming up with the place for it, we didn't look anywhere else, you know. You know, there's a lot of places in the DFW area, but we do live here. I wanted to be in our backyard. I think it's really important for the success of our brewery to appeal first to my neighbors and his neighbors.
Right.
So, yes, that's where we're at, and we're just closing in on the end of the 5th year. So, you know, we feel really good.
Yeah, I always do look forward to New Year's Eve, because that, in fact, is your anniversary party. So we get to celebrate New Year and a New Year of Division as well. So you also have Growl behind you, which is the beautiful. Well, it used to be a comic shop and a record shop, and then also at nighttime they have bands coming in and out of there. How did that come about, and where'd your love for music start?
Well, the love of music started, I think you're born with it. You know, you're born with it, and music starts appealing to you, and it becomes like for me, it was like a little god. You know, it was like my parents had a Silvertone big console stereo that when I was a kid, and I grew up being the commander of that console, you know, and learning how to put, you know, albums on at 4 or 5 years old and becoming the DJ of the house and exploring my parents' music collection. And then I had an older sister who introduced me to all kinds of great rock and roll, and, you know, it just never stopped. And, you know, I'm, like a lot of people, I think, you know, you get those chills, you know, those hairs rise up on the back of your neck and your arms when you hear music, and, you know, it's just always been super important. Now, how the Growl kind of came into our hands is that when we first opened the brewery, there was a really funky, cool little secondhand clothing shop that sold other stuff, They had local arts. They had candles. They had other things. It was called the Cosmic Crow Collective.
That's right.
And great place. And when we opened the brewery, we met all those people.
Right.
And we kind of had a meeting of the shops out back behind the brewery because we shared the same back alley. And they had music, and they would bring it out, and it started as really just a very DIY thing, and then, she had other things going on in her life, and there was a point where she decided to, I'm going to close the store, and I just contacted the landlord and said, hey, I would love to keep something like this rolling. I would like to keep the music rolling, and, and even bring more to it.
Right.
And I had a friend that we've been connected since college and shared the same love of music. That's how we met. And he's worked on and off for almost his entire life at retail music type stores. And so I convinced him to move from Las Vegas, to come here. And,
wow.
Plant roots in Arlington. And, he's got another source of income. He's got another job. But, him and I started Growl with the intention of having a vinyl store, having CDs, making music available to people. And also, in a small way, have local bands, original bands play, at some place, whoever we could get almost, It's been fantastic, more than we could have ever dreamed,
right.
As far as the response and the wealth and depth of talent in the DFW area. It's amazing the people that have come through here and played, and just local bands and the talent there. It's amazing nights, and so we've had plenty of those, and happy with both. And it's been difficult, right now with the COVID not to have shows. Growl's basically, just been shuttered. But we hope that we'll find a cure, we'll find treatments, we'll have less infections, and slowly move back to, more of a time where we can get together and socialize. I think it's real important.
Right, I think so too. So, speaking of COVID, you stayed open during COVID in the fact that where you have canned almost everything and been selling it that way, which really helped. Before that, Governor Abbott put in effect that you could do the to-go, which you guys were kind of doing anyway. And then, so how did the whole just continue to can and sell it, and then also you've been coming out with new beers during COVID? So,
well, we were fortunate we're small, and so we could adapt quickly. Yes, we had a seamer, we had cans, we were doing can on demand, like a crowler system for people that came into the brewery. But when that line of revenue is shut off, we really had no choice but to focus on cans and try to promote, staying safe. We'll can the beer, meet you out in your car with it.
Right.
The response in Arlington was great. That's why, again, I don't think if we had the connections and the roots here in the city, I think it would be much more difficult to survive.
Right.
People were hoping and wanting to support us, and it worked.
Right.
And it caused us also to, while we're having an empty tap room, to be able to focus on other aspects of the business. And we were able to produce labels, buy a labeler, and really promote the business in ways that we intended to down the road when we grew. But now we were able to, kind of take advantage and adapt to this kind of low time, and sharpen our teeth on another little revenue stream, and improve our business hopefully once it's all over. It's been hard, but it's been fun. We've had remarkable landlords that were very sympathetic to our plight, and helped us, through reduced rent, and that's been nice. We've done okay, and we feel like we've even thrived.
Yeah.
And it comes down to, I think, everybody during this event. This is something it's been thrown in people's face, and we're all maybe a little bit more aware of how important it is to us to have relations,
Right.
And be close as a community.
I think so,
And
too.
so we saw that response, and we're so thankful that we had that. I mean, we owe our business to it.
Yeah. I mean, I know I was here at least once a week, if not every other week, about getting beers. So, and I've loved seeing. We very much try to push the eat local and drink local. And you and Legal are the only ones left now. The Turning Point, unfortunately, had to go under.
Well, New Maine.
I'm sorry, New Maine. What did I say?
Turning Point, I think, is
Turning
doing
Point.
very well.
Turning Point's still doing very well.
I was shocked. I just learned it.
No, just now. No, New Maine, unfortunately. It still says the name on the building, but unfortunately inside. So Hurtado started their barbecue, their thrivingness here, and now they have their own brick and mortar, and they're doing fantastic. And now you have, 214? Is that?
225.
225, I'm sorry.
And that name is the degrees that they use their smoke or smoke there. So it's 225 degrees.
Wow.
That's the secret to good brisket. He doesn't want to tell anybody, but he named his company that.
Right.
So there you go.
Just put it out there. Yeah. So how did Hurtado come into your life, and how did they, now do you have 225?
Our brewery is one of, I don't know how many entities within the city that they will allow to do certain things. Our brewery, because we don't have our own kitchen, has got a way to bring in a food truck.
Right.
And I guess other places do too. But because we have certain infrastructure here, like we have large bathrooms, we have water, we have the access to a 3-compartment sink, all the, hot water, we're allowed to partner with someone that's in a truck or a trailer, and provide certain things the city requires for the health department. And I think that was one of the things that Brandon approached us, because he knew that we were one of the few places they could do that.
Right.
And so we talked, and again, we've had other food trucks, and it was more of a permanent status of what Brandon was bringing to us. And it was great. I mean, our clients benefit from us, and we meet new clients through their own marketing activities.
Right.
So with Brandon, he came in. I think he had his eyes on the prize. He did have his eyes on the prize. I don't think he did. And rode a great wave of, over to that new spot. And he's done great. And I think the other people that 225, and we've had Guero's Barbecue and Lillian's Barbecue, and we have Bad Spanish that comes out. Everybody that comes out to the brewery, I think they just want to, they're able to operate in the city, without, because that was the other thing. And I don't want to get into detail, and you may want to cut this out, but...
Oh, you're fine.
But we're able to provide a spot that they can pay one time and operate in the city instead of each time they come to operate. It's like the same. It's like $125.
Right. The food truck laws in Arlington are not where they need to be.
Right.
Compared to where Fort Worth has it or where Dallas has it. It's not exactly food truck friendly as much as we would like it to be. So I mean, I think we all should be trying to help the city push it to where we do in fact get more food trucks.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
So.
But anyway, we were blessed with the ability to have a long-term person in here that they didn't have to continue to pay week after week that fee. And so, when 225 had served out here before Hurtado actually as a food truck, so already had known of those guys. And so when Brandon was leaving, when they saw that he was moving over there, they reached out to me and come on out, and it just worked out. Yeah. And so I enjoy having those guys here. I enjoy having Bad Spanish here. Mm-hmm. And, we've got a fabulous place to come and have beer because we have so many great food vendors. Because it's those guys, but also Hershey's.
Oh, yeah.
Right behind us.
They're brand new. It was Jack's Chicken.
It was Jack's Chicken, but now it's Hershey's. Pizza wings and things.
Yeah, they got a lot on the menu. Right?
Yes, they do. But man, I'll tell you, the best catfish I've ever had.
Okay.
Right there. I mean, Catfish Sam's. I mean, I know it's an Arlington institution. They're good, but if you like it spicy, go right there. Try it.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Spicy catfish. I like that.
Yeah.
So we have a segment on the show called Tournament of Toppings. We're trying to find the best pizza in Arlington. What is your favorite pizza place in Arlington?
It's a hard
It's
question.
the one that usually
It's a
stumps everybody.
loaded
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Well, we're not trying to pick favorites. But
I like, well,
whichever
I
one
mean,
actually.
okay, so
Even though it's in the name, what's your favorite one?
there's some great places. And there's a couple of pizza places that sell our beer.
Yeah.
So those are good, but Saljo's Pizza, it's at Antigo.
Yeah.
But that place is really, really good. They serve Division beer.
That place, when you walk inside, is completely different than what you imagined.
Yes.
We went in there and we were like,
very,
whoa.
very interesting, culturally diverse, interesting people.
Yeah.
And I think it's an experience for anybody in Arlington. It's legit. I mean, it's like he's not copycatting other people.
No.
So when you go to Saljo's, it's Saljo. Mm-hmm. That's what I love about that place. The other place is kind of an Arlington institution. It's Mama's Pizza.
Yeah. On Fielder.
Yeah. They've got our beer over there, and they're trying to keep. We don't make a lot of beer here. We can't really sell it to a lot of places because we don't make a lot, and we sell out here.
Right.
So we try to keep it local. I mean, so it's Mama's Pizza, it's Saljo's, it's Grease Monkey.
Yeah.
It's these little caves.
Yeah.
It's Aussie Rabbit.
Right.
I mean, it's a short list, and it's just here in Arlington.
Yeah, that's something I definitely want to talk to you after this interview about, because I've got some ideas, as I'm in sales as well. So I go into these places and I'm like, why don't they have Division? Why don't they have Legal? I don't quite understand. it just makes no sense to me. So you talked about community, you talked about togetherness. How much are we seeing, you and Legal maybe working in the future on future collaborations? And then also, what can the city look forward to, I guess, once gatherings are more approved, can people do here at Division?
We love working with Legal. I mean, they're really close by, and we did a great collaboration with them, the Interurban. They were really easy to work with. It was really fun. They created their beer there, and we created our beer here, and you were able to try both and, compare and contrast, and that was fun. And I think they were both great. It's been, as far as what I want to do or what I want to see us go right now is I want to see us selling beer outside the Levitt at every event. I want to see a Division tent down there that has our beer. We're the local brewery. I'd like to see Legal out there too.
Right, obviously.
But I mean, that's something we're going to really work towards. Going through another entity is sometimes difficult because they're dealing with a distributor and we're self-distributed.
Right.
So really, it's not always, even playing field or what, but we just want to, have our own stand if we can. Yeah. And so that's something we're working towards.
Good. You just brought it up, and I meant to ask you earlier. You were the ones who did not sell, or did not, you can't find you guys in stores. You can't find you guys at many places.
Right.
What thought process did you have to just keep it, you've got to come here to get it?
Well, part of it's just size.
Well,
we're a small grassroots brewery.
Yeah.
We only had so much our funds ourselves. So we did what we could, and but the reception was great, and so 90% of our sales are here in the tap room,
right.
And we have a hard time keeping up with that, and that pays for our overhead and all that. The sales outside the brewery, the kegs, whatever, it's some gravy. But we need to grow that, but we have to grow our production. We have to, and it's something we have planned for this year. COVID, unfortunately, has taken, 5-month chunk out of it, and, we've lost the beautiful spring days that we could have made a lot of money, and, we weren't able to have East Main Street Arts Festival, which normally is a really big, one of our most profitable days, actually. And so, it's had to slowed us down, but we're gonna get bigger fermenters, and we will be producing more beer, and we'll slowly get to the point where I hope you see us in stores. I would love. Sean and I were talking about today. We have these 2 huge sporting complexes that could easily drink every beer that we make, in one day, a whole month's worth of production. So, someday getting on the tap, there's a dream.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing the tap list whenever Global Life Field actually put it out, and I was like, well, there's no local beers here. That's nice.
Yeah, but I can understand the other side because, there's frustration on, okay, we've dealt with this, with some of the bigger vendors that we had initially when we were doing keg sales. It's like we couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
And they call like, hey, we want more of this. I'm like, sold out, and we're not going to have any for a month. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of unacceptable sometimes. So right. It's growing pains. We hope to get there. We strive to just not overpromise. So that's why, again, we're at the little places that you see, local, and we want to hope that they use it as a selling point. Right. Is that you can't get this beer anywhere else. You can only get it here.
That makes sense. So if people want to follow you guys on social media and see what you guys are coming up with, beer-wise, event-wise, how can they do so?
Facebook, because I'm old. I'm old. I'm more Facebook guy. But I know Instagram's cool, and I do post on Instagram, but I'm probably more prolific on Facebook.
Makes sense. You can do both. Where you
I know, and I do that. But I'm kind of like, because I'm the guy that I don't like to be over marketed. That's why we have one TV. Because I think there's too much distraction. Yeah. So even with like Instagram and Facebook, we try to hold it back. Right. And the content that we do release is content we create. Yeah. It's not some kind of stock picture. I hate that shit. Yeah. And we have an app. Yeah, we have Division. Yeah, there's an app you can search on Facebook not Facebook, but the Apple Store or the. I'm an Apple guy, so it's the Android store,
Android, Google,
but it's out there.
Actually, I'm an Apple guy too. So
the Android one works better because the developers are those guys.
Yeah.
So,
but I remember the app does, in fact, tell you what is about to be on tap and what is on tap.
Yes. I updated it today. I update it every week. So we're not doing. When we first opened, we wanted to have 20 beers on tap at all times. But it's great. We have a lot of fans, and so we sell out. And so sadly, I think we have 11 beers on tap right now. But they're all great, and we've got 3 new IPAs coming out next week.
There we go.
Brand new. So Sean and I, we love what we do. We're having a lot of fun with it. And, I don't see that stopping.
Well, Wade, thank you for your time. And I come here, at least 3 to 4 times a month.
All right, we need to increase that.
Okay, I will. Yes, I will double it, and I'll be here twice a week.
Yes. That's good.
And cheers. Cheers. Division.
Well, that was our show. Thank you so much to our guests, Sugar Bee Sweets. Got to check that place out. And of course, Wade at Division. Love you always.
Arlington Institution.
Tips.
Yep.
And
make sure to eat local, drink local, and
rediscover your city.
Do it.
Tag us and send those pictures over to us on Facebook, Arlington Citizen Media, Twitter, ATX Citizen Media. Tag us on Instagram, Arlington Citizen Media, and send those pictures the old-fashioned way. Email arlingtoncitizenmedia@gmail.com. Also go to our website, www.arlingtoncitizenmedia.com. Don't forget to subscribe and give those 5-star reviews of the Downtown at Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and also hit us on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.
He doesn't deserve that.
He doesn't. He absolutely doesn't. He's a good dude. So no,
He really
you're
is.
absolutely right.